Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Meet Joe Black. And this movie came out in 1998, directed by Martin Brest, who also directed Beverly Hills Cop, which I think is solid and might be a hot take when I say this, but I think that's his only good movie that he's made. He also directed Midnight Run, which I thought was alright, and he did Scent of a Woman, which I didn't connect with. And he did this, which I also didn't really connect with. I know some people like it, but I tried, but it just didn't really offer me anything. And this was also the movie he made right before his last movie, which came out in 2003, called Geely, which I haven't seen yet. What a movie to go out on, from what I hear. But anyways, there were some things that I liked about this movie. I felt as though the performances were holding this movie up pretty well. I wouldn't say this movie holds any particular favorite performances for me in terms of like Brad Pitt. Like, would I say this is one of my favorite performances from him? No. But he does a good job. Same with Anthony Hopkins. I do think that he's good in the movie. Like, he's a natural. He can just bring talent onto the screen, and you can definitely tell that he's putting forth effort to make a good movie, and it shows. And there were some good scenes in this movie. Like, I do like the scenes in the hospital. I feel as though those scenes worked for me. And the music at times it did work as well. But overall, what I was really starved for was a few things. This movie didn't really have a distinct style to it. And I'm kind of just looking for something to be interested in terms of how a movie looks. And I just didn't really get any of that from this movie. It just felt like another random movie you could dig up from the 90s. And people remembered this movie because of the cast. But unfortunately, that's pretty much all that was holding this movie up. And I wasn't really a fan of any of the characters. I just didn't really like any of them. But I will say this much, the movie did get better as it went along. Like, the first half of the movie, I was really encouraged to just shut the movie off because I was really bored and uninvested and couldn't really stand it. But once we got into the second half, things were a little bit better. Some things were paced better, and it didn't have all of my issues in the first half. Like, this movie is 3 hours long, and I personally feel as though it could have been 2 hours. Because in the first half especially, there's a lot of scenes in that first half that go on for a long time. Characters are talking for a while and just mumbling about a bunch of things. And by the end of it, all I was thinking about was, you took a long time to say very little. And I do feel as though a lot of it could have been condensed and to have a much better pace to it. And luckily, the second half figures that out and realizes, oh, wait, we should probably condense some stuff so this isn't a 4 hour long movie. So thank you to the second half for understanding pacing a lot better. But that first half was pretty rough, not gonna lie. And going into this movie, the only thing I really knew about it was the iconic scene with Brad Pitt. And when that happened, I was laughing. I thought that was so goofy, so out of place, and it would have been a lot more effective if it wasn't shown. This movie was pretty cheesy in ways that I found to be really distracting. The comedy was almost unbearable to me at times, with that constant gag of Brad Pitt's character loving peanut butter, which I just don't like that joke at all. I just find it to be kind of obnoxious, honestly. I also didn't really like how this movie portrayed certain characters. Like, they were trying to do two things at once. Portray them as a big, I've seen everything, I know how people work, but also kind of a bumbling buffoon at the same time. I was like, what are you doing? This doesn't make sense. I thought you knew things, and yet you're doing all these different things that just doesn't make sense. That was weird. I was going to say this is another crowd-pleasing cookie-cutter film that didn't offer me anything or has anything interesting to say, but I decided to take that back simply because the ending did kind of make me think about certain things a little bit differently and how it was handled. I was like, yeah, I do like some things here and there in the second half. So I'll take that huge insult back from it. So there's that at least. And in the first half, it was really difficult for me to pay attention to anything. Like, I barely absorbed anything from that first half. And it was just really rough, like I said already. And ultimately, this movie is kind of like a main character has a limited amount of time, and there's someone following them around just as a constant reminder of that inevitability. I do feel as though when it comes to something like that, without spoiling anything, I feel as though the good version of that story is just in this monster wants to eat me. Like, that anime just offered me everything that I would have wanted, and I just love how in the first episode it establishes everything you need to know. And the tone, it's kind of dark and disturbing and very depressing, but also very funny. Like, it's kind of a depressing dark comedy almost. And I'm not going to say anything else about it, but I do feel as though if I want something like this, then I'll watch that. And that's about all I have to say about Meet Joe Black. It wasn't great, didn't really connect with me, and I'll probably never watch this movie again. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give Meet Joe Black a 4 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Meet Joe Black and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for End of Watch. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.